Hey, here we are.
Yep, another episode of the Steel Studio podcast.
The sky is falling. The sky is
Is
falling. Please be aware the sky is falling.
So, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to get into with you. You know, right off the bat, let's just hit it. Is Big Ben done?
I think no. I don't think he's done. I think what's going on is what we've talked about before. It's since the Washington game last year. It's a scheme that teams are doing against us. And he cannot seem to beat it.
So since the Washington game last year, actually I think it was 1 week before,
Okay.
we haven't scored a single point in the first quarter on offense.
Right.
Is that Ben's fault? Is that scheme? What do you think that is?
I think it's scheme.
So you think Canada is like way too close to Fiechner still in play calling
I don't
and
think
scheme?
that they've made that many changes. That's why they kept Canada, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
They've made some changes.
that's where I almost think that I don't want to say Ben's done from an athletic standpoint. I know we've got stats to back that up and everything that we're going to talk about, but I almost want to say that it's his fault for some of the off the field stuff. Some of the Fiechner, some of the Canada, some of having these people.
Yeah, maybe
this is his
that
playbook.
Gets along with Ben and does what Ben wants to do.
Yeah.
We've talked about
which
that
isn't
before.
working. It doesn't seem like.
Right.
I mean, it just seems we're back in gun every play.
Well, he was under center quite a few times in this last game, but
it just didn't do anything. Yeah.
Kendrick Green was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Every time Ogunjobi owned his ass in this game. Go back and watch it. It's sickening, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I agree with you. I don't think that Ben's done either. I know that everyone's panicking. Let's go sign Cam. We should have.
If Brady had the line that Ben had, he would be struggling just as much. And Aaron Rodgers in the first game couldn't do shit. They had three points because they had no time.
They're ranked 5th offensively right now in their rankings.
Who is?
Green Bay, which doesn't make sense to me.
Statistically, they're not.
Statistically, they're not. No. And this is opinionated rankings, right? But it's like you scored 3 points in your first game, and now after 3 games, you're somehow a powerhouse.
And they played Detroit and Frisco with just shredded backfield.
Right. They passed all over them.
Right.
Yeah, and even then, he's still actually ranked 24th in quarterbacks for yardage right now.
Yeah, he's not.
And his completion percentage is worse than Ben.
And his line's not that great either.
Right.
So that's the issue. It's one of the main issues. Ben's arm is fine. I'm sorry. Can Ben run and run around like Lamar and make plays if the line breaks down? No, and we know that.
But he can extend a play without getting sacked.
Yeah, he can.
He's got, I think, the highest QB pressures in the league right now. With
Right.
in proportion, he's got the lowest sacks to that number.
But it's pretty simple, basic football to know that if you don't have a line, and I think the line will get better. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, we did say that.
But we can't be losing at home to the Bengals and Raiders. That's the problem. But it's scheme. I don't know if they're just stacking a box. And then in the last game, we lost a couple. Not having Deontay was huge.
Yeah.
He's his go-to guy. The other guys aren't. They don't run as good of routes or something. Juju seems like we should have let him go. We should have drafted somebody else. I don't know. He doesn't do anything.
He's not doing anything.
No.
Now, I will say that's where I think it's scheme again. Is I can't blame Ben for a lot of this stuff because we don't have anybody even running to the middle of the field. We're not utilizing the seam with 2 tight end sets, and one of those tight ends is absolutely useless. Ebron has been terrible.
Oh, and I thought he was going to have a huge year. If he has another week like that, I'd cut his ass.
I agree. Or just get rid of him. And
Bring
we
up
can't.
Raider. At
We
least
can't.
we'll have a blocker.
We extended him in March. We made a big mistake with that.
Yeah, I think we did. He's lazy.
Something. Yeah.
It's
not working out.
I thought he was going to really have a hell of a year. I defended the guy. We did a video on it.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
Yeah, maybe he can
So far,
turn
he's
around.
been terrible.
Maybe he can turn around, but I see Freiermuth as our number 1 tight end and staying that way for a while.
And probably Gentry is number 2. And maybe we need to bring up Raider and have a blocking one too.
They will never. See, we can't swallow our pride that way. The Steelers don't do it.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
stick behind somebody
That's
and they say
why
that's
we had Jameer Jones play in the last game instead of Taco Charlton.
Yeah.
So.
You could just put in Taco and say, run at him.
Right.
That's all he's fucking doing. Run at him. You don't need to learn a scheme. Just run at him. And he would do better than Jameer. So.
But yeah, back to Ben. It's a new offense. It's a young line. But it's the same thing as last year. We've lost 5 out of 6 at home, man. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I really think it's scheme, and I know a lot of people that are watching are probably going to say we're entirely wrong and that Ben needs to go.
Right, and you put another quarterback in, all of a sudden we're going to be good.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is let's look at it from a purely statistical standpoint. No opinions, nothing. Okay, Ben's 83 for 130 on his passes. That's 63.8% completion. That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. He's 12th in the league with yardage at 801 yards. That's not as bad as everyone thinks it is.
Right.
He's averaging 6.2 yards per toss and 267 a game. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean anything until you compare it to other people. So let's compare it to Josh Allen, who's 11th in the league in yards. Josh Allen is 79 for 127. That's 62.6% completion, and that's worse than Ben on completion percentage.
Hear that.
No, he's only got 6 more passing yards than Ben. He's got 807. Ben's got 801. And Allen is averaging 6.4 yards per toss. Ben was 6.2.
Wow.
So they're literally the same.
Allen does have 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, right.
He's connected on his deep balls.
It seems
like
exactly someone's caught them. That's it.
Actually, about 3 or 4 of Ben's deep balls were. He should have hit Washington the last game, but he had pressure on him. He was getting hit as he threw.
Right.
And he overthrew him. That would have been a touchdown. It's just situational more than anything else.
It's
the
really
bad plays are happening at the wrong time.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Penalties are
and that's why I
at the
think
wrong
it's
time.
scheme because we're putting people into positions where they fail.
Well, I did hear
right there on execution.
I did hear Tomlin say that he said the exact same thing. Our scheme.
He said stupid.
We're not playing to our strengths. We're scheming up things that aren't putting players in positions they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So at least he recognizes it. And maybe they went in there and reamed they said, okay, to Canada, we tried it your way. Now we're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I am too. It sounded like, did he say in the press conference it was quote unquote stupid? Is that what he said?
No, he said it. He said it in an interview with Edby Shed.
That's right.
Which was stupid. When they have a 5-man front, why do you run at that? That's when you throw.
And some of those running plays actually worked, and it was really the blocks were actually there. It was Najee's fault. I've seen a couple of those
in the wrong hole twice. I saw at least twice.
Huge holes actually. Surprisingly, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know why won't we put the other backs in too? Put Balaj in there. He can run too.
He's fast. So
we know
put him
Najee's the main guy. We've made that point, but have him run.
Right.
I don't get it.
Certainly don't put Snell in there, like they've done a couple times. Put in Balaj. He's fast as hell.
Yeah,
if it doesn't work out, he's not going to with McFarland coming back.
Oh God.
Which
he actually didn't practice today, McFarland.
I hate to say it, but it's kind of good. Anyways, to go back to these percentages, I know everyone keeps talking about this. I see it all over Twitter. Everyone says that we should have drafted Lamar a couple years ago. Okay, Lamar has a 60% completion rate. It's even worse. 761 yards overall. That's worse. 253.7 a game. That's worse. And yeah, he can run the ball, but he's actually not running as much as he has in the past few years. Jimmy G's worse than Ben. Tannehill's worse than Ben. Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Trevor Lawrence, and even Rodgers is worse than Ben statistically this year.
Wow.
Rodgers is 24th in the league right now. Ben's 12th.
And I thought, wow, Ben's he's been hit a lot. I will say that.
Yeah.
I went and looked. I'm like, Steelers gave up 9 sacks. The Browns have given up 8 sacks, but they're the number 1 line in the league. I haven't heard.
Now, I will say, I wish we would have picked up their coach. What's it, Callahan or whatever?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, I think they say our O-line coach and the assistant O-line coach are especially assistant's an experienced guy. So, I don't know. You know what the problem was?
We heard that about Clem when he was the
here's
assistant,
the problem.
though.
If Pouncey wouldn't have retired, DeCastro never got hurt, we should have re-signed Filer at tackle.
I agree.
And then we had a rookie or two. You can't have 5 4 out of the 5 guys being rookies, and the other one just showed up. Then you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle.
Yep.
So they didn't know Pouncey was going to retire, they say, but they still could have signed a center. Right?
We have the youngest front 5 in the league.
Right.
We have the youngest skill positions in the league if you take Ben out.
I mean, we can't.
We're very young offensively.
We can't be 1-7 before we figure it out here.
Right.
That's the problem.
But I think we need to quit hating Ben. I think Ben is contributing to the problem, with some of the picks that he had the other day and stuff. But I don't think he's the issue.
He still was running for his life.
I don't think he's the issue.
Ball out quick.
Right. He's gonna get killed.
He's trying to do too much too.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it seems like that's a rookie mistake almost. That's what you see a lot of rookie quarterbacks do. They force the ball downfield.
So bad. He wants to. And the receivers aren't getting open either.
Well, I think that's what scheme is. You have to utilize the middle of the field.
Yeah,
you have to
scheme them open. If we start doing that. And this will be a perfect week to do that. They'll shit. The other teams will shit because their plan's going to be to stack the line.
Yeah. But you can't have everybody do this. They can't all run out. Run out. You've got to get in there.
He can throw the ball down the middle of the field. I know he can.
It doesn't take that long to run a slant. That's a 1-second route.
Yeah, that's quick slant. That's why they call it quick slant.
Yeah, it's literally the fastest route in the league. I mean, so If he's throwing an under 2.
But I disagree. Ben's not done. His arm's not done. There's other podcasts that say he cannot throw the ball down the field.
We've seen it.
Bullshit. It's the scheme that Haley's the one that started the quick scheme passes to save Ben from getting hit.
But I think he executed it pretty well. And it helped having AB, let's be honest.
Yeah, it made a lot of play. Yak. But I don't think it's... If Ben had 5 touchdowns and 18 interceptions like Peyton Manning did his last year, and he couldn't even throw... Remember?
And he still won.
He couldn't throw, but he was cerebral. Ben's not as cerebral as Peyton Manning, I don't think. But Ben's a better quarterback than Peyton was when he retired. If Ben played like that, he would... Yeah, I'd say he's done. He's not done. He's not the problem. Don't these people know football? Don't they know football?
So, that's, speaking of these people, you want to talk about Ryan Clark at all?
Yeah. Ryan Clark is just a clickbait son of a bitch that's trying to get ratings. That's all it is. He always criticizes the Steelers. And be like, oh my God, Ryan Clark criticizes
It's because he doesn't want to be a homer because he played for him.
He criticizes them then.
But he always does.
You got Joe Thomas on the other hand, sucking the Browns' dick, every game, no matter what.
Well, that's why I don't understand why Ryan Clark doesn't
And then
do
you
that.
got Boomer Esiason
he
sucking
sucks
the
their
Bengals'
dick
and rubbing it on the Steelers. I don't even watch those shows anymore. I can't stand them. Like, I don't want to hear Boomer.
No.
I don't want to hear Cower praise them too much. I don't want to hear Boomer criticize them and praise the Bengals.
Well, none of them are honest. That's what's fucking annoying.
They're supposed to be professionals.
Yeah. Ryan Clark said we have an organizational failure across the board.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't believe that for a second.
I
I think we have a scheme problem, and we need to find a way to execute around it.
We had a hell of a draft last year, hell of a draft this year. The guys we signed are difference makers. We had Watt and Highsmith both out. Watt, the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Per se. One of them. That's why he's making $30 million now.
Listed in the top 10.
You take that off any team, and they're going to struggle.
Right.
Come on. We were down to third
and he put
straight.
the entire blame on Ben, too, to be fair. Which it's not. Ben's not playing defense. Ben didn't let Joe Burrow throw, right down the field of Jamar Chase multiple times. No. Three plays, they scored touchdown. 3 more plays, they scored touchdown.
They only had 2 drives over 3 plays.
Right. They're not getting first downs. We let them march right down the field. Bad time management.
That's happened since 2003.
There's nothing Ben could have done about anything in this game. Nothing.
It was a fluky game. It was another loss to a bad team.
I don't want to say it was fluky. I won't go there. I think it was bad execution. But I don't think we have an organizational failure.
But there is some talent. No, there's no organizational failure. He's saying that because he's saying we should have drafted a quarterback. Well, look at the quarterbacks that were drafted.
No, not a single one is doing anything.
No.
And everyone praises Mac Jones, too, because he's on the Patriots. He's statistically the worst quarterback starting this year.
He actually has his completion rate, like 2-point-something yards, is the lowest in NFL history.
Yeah.
That's from here to here.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Come on. It's not like Biden.
I think he'll end up fine. But to say that we should have drafted him or Fields, they had 1 net passing yard. Yeah, fuck off. 1 net passing yard, and Ben's the worst. They're saying Ben's.
Well, I posted, if we cut Ben today, there'd be 20 teams wanting to sign him.
Yeah.
And one guy on there said, "Are you kidding me? You're kidding, right?" No, there would be 20 teams trying to sign him.
Yes.
There would.
Yeah, I agree.
He's better than 20 quarterbacks.
He's ranked 12th. In the NFL right now, and that's with all the bullshit that we just saw us go through.
So I saw his press conference today, and he looked pretty calm and cool. And
I think he looked kind of pissed off, though, a little bit.
Maybe it would be funny if he comes out and we just...
That's a Steelers thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
It is what we do.
Shut him up. But, I don't think Ben's done, and I'm not ready to say it. And we know football. He's not done. It's not his
Everyone
fault.
said he was done last year before the season, and we started out 11-0.
They've been saying he was done for 5 years.
Since he was 34 and he first talked about retirement.
Off the team because they hate the Steelers. Come on. But they don't say it about Rodgers. They don't say it about Brady, and they're older.
Yeah.
Well, Rodgers is actually 1 year younger. But
yeah.
So, I think I'm in the yellow there. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to go over from that game?
Not from that game because it'd just be us sitting here bitching all night because it was terrible across the board.
A combination of bad play, 10 offensive penalties,
which terrible.
The refs were awful.
There were some game-changing calls that were awful.
Call against Ingram was terrible.
That was not roughing the passer.
Pass interference on down there on Claypool at the end zone was terrible.
Yeah.
Game-changing, I'm not saying that's why we lost.
Momentum. Yeah. Entirely killed our momentum. And here's one thing.
A couple of the holding calls were bad.
The fucking punter, man. If you stuck with him, he needs to get his shit together.
Yeah, he was not good again.
He needs to get his shit together.
No one's talking about
we
that.
wasted a fucking draft pick on him. He needs to get it together.
Yeah, we wasted a few draft picks. We should have drafted some down the field.
Him and the Loudermilk scenario. If you're going to trade up, you don't get fucking get another receiver, get another lineman, get somebody in there to just try to do something. That was, and Jordan Berry was better than this guy is. You had him. Keep him.
Yeah, I know. You know why? I mean, it's.
Yeah, I know.
He's a new shiny
everybody
toy.
loved him from camp. Oh, we've got this cool overweight punter. This is so awesome.
Yep.
Man, he's not doing shit.
No.
29 net yards. You got a problem.
Wow.
You got a fucking problem. You got a problem. But that's not Ben's
and then
fault.
Boswell even missed a field goal. How's that happen?
That's when it all falls apart.
That was a huge.
And
miss.
our sack streak is gone. 75 games.
We were down there in the red zone 4 times, and we ended up with 3 points on those 4 drives.
If we would have gotten touchdowns, that's 28 points. We would have won 38-24.
We did have 4 drives. I went back and watched the first game against the Bills.
We had multiple in the red zone.
We
couldn't execute.
Everybody acts like that was a fluke that we beat the Bills. So I went back and watched it, and we had 4 drives in the second half. We scored on them.
It's funny you say that because I see all these things online with people saying that about the Bills, like, oh, you special teams bailed you, and you only had one offensive good drive. But if you look at the execution, we went right down the field, didn't do anything. Right down the field, didn't do anything.
Well, I mean, the last thing that's going to be gotten together with this offense is the red zone offense. But at least you could be kicking field goals there, not coming away with nothing.
Yeah, well, some of it is coaching.
But
There's
we
some
also
execution
have been behind,
coaching.
and our defense in the last 2 games let us down because of injuries.
Right.
That's what it's come down to.
I'm going to say some of it's coaching with time management, too. Letting the Bengals right at the end of the first half just go right down the field.
Yeah, that was bad.
We could have ran that time down. That was stupid.
Yeah, we should have ran it down to the end of the half.
That was so stupid.
We let them have a minute left.
Yeah, and then they just...
That's dumb.
They scored.
Things Tomlin does.
Yep. Yep.
I love the guy. I don't want him fired. I think he's a great coach, but he does.
He's got to get it down,
his
though.
Clock management is
It's terrible. It's always been terrible. Always.
Yeah, it has.
So.
And you should have an assistant to help with that.
Yeah. So that's all I got on this video, though. I don't want to bitch too much. I don't know. Do you have anything else?
We don't think Ben's done, and that's the stance we're taking. If you don't want to follow us anymore, but please subscribe, give us your comments.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yep. Yeah. Please
subscribe,
comment. It helps us in the long run, and we'll have a video out now. Another one out this week for the Packers preview, and then we'll do our weekly picks battle sponsored by Catalina Creative.
Catalina Creative. All right.
Go Steelers.